All right, welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're going to be jumping into something really interesting, and I guess sort of topical as well. We're going to be taking a look at India and at the advancements they're making in the field of AI. And we're going to be doing this deep dive based off of this new report that's out. It's called India's AI Renaissance March 2025 Landscape. And it's from University 365. And I think what's really interesting about this is we're not just talking about India sort of copying or adopting what other countries are doing. It seems like they're really carving out their own path here.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that makes India so interesting to look at right now. The report from U365 really highlights this. You have this sort of unique blend of the country's history, some pretty strategic actions by the government, and then this really thriving innovation ecosystem. And when you put those three things together, it's really creating kind of a perfect storm for AI development.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this report, it covers a huge amount of ground, right? We're talking about starting all the way back from, the really early days of computing in India, all the way up to, the current explosion in, not just AI, but also generative AI. We're going to be looking at the government's role, which seems like it's a pretty big one. We'll dive into the whole startup scene. How are different industries using AI? What does this mean for society? Where are things headed?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. The report really takes this holistic view. It's not just about technology, it's also about, strategy and impact. I think the listeners are going to get a lot out of this. India is really on the verge of being this major force in AI globally.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get into it. And joining us to help navigate this intricate landscape is Professor Ada Connard from University 365. She's the leading expert behind this report. Welcome to the deep dive, Professor.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to share what we've uncovered.
So let's start kind of peeling back the layers of this onion, so to speak, by going all the way back to the origins. Now, the report kind of hints that India's involvement with AI and computing concepts goes back further than people might expect.
Oh, absolutely. It's fascinating. While the current buzz around AI feels very new, the roots in India go much deeper. We found that India developed its first indigenous electronic computer, TIFRAC, between 1954 and 1960, led by Rangaswamy Narasimhan. This really laid the groundwork for computational thinking in the country. It's quite remarkable when you think about it.
Wow, so even back then, they were pushing the boundaries of what was possible with computing.
Yes, and the momentum continued. The 1970s saw some pivotal events. John McCarthy, a true legend in AI, actually visited IIT Kanpur in 1971. And around the same time, G. Krishna introduced what's believed to be the very first formal AI course in India. These were really critical in introducing and nurturing these AI concepts in academic circles.
So, these early seeds were being planted even decades ago. What happened next?
Well, in the 1980s, things started to get a bit more focused on AI research. The Indian Statistical Institute launched this really interesting optical character recognition project. So basically, teaching computers to read text. And this, of course, laid the foundation for what we now know as machine learning. But even bigger than that, 1986 saw the launch of the Knowledge-Based Computer Systems Project, KBCS for short. And this was really a landmark moment. It was India's first major nationally funded program specifically focused on AI research.
It sounds like there was this, steady building of momentum over several decades. Now, the report then shifts to what it calls formative developments in the 1990s and 2000s. What exactly was happening during this period?
It was a period of pragmatism. The focus shifted towards applying computational power to address practical needs in society. So moving beyond the theory and really thinking about how technology could make a difference in people's lives.
I like that. It's almost like they were thinking about the human impact of these advancements. Are there specific projects from this era that come to mind?
Oh, definitely. One really notable example is Eklavya. This was developed at IIT Madras, and it was designed to help community health workers manage common childhood illnesses, especially in remote areas where access to doctors was limited. So a real example of AI being used for good. Another one was the Vidya language teaching system from the National Center for Software Technology. The aim here was to improve education quality by creating learning resources in various local Indian languages. And then there was Sarani, developed by CDAC, which was a flight scheduling expert system. This demonstrated how AI could be used to optimize complex operations.
Those are some really concrete examples of how they were using technology to solve real-world problems. And it seems like this focus on social good has really carried through to the present.
Yes, absolutely. This idea of using technology for the betterment of society has been a constant throughout India's AI journey.
Okay, so let's fast forward to the current landscape. The report shows a real acceleration with India becoming this major AI adopter. What does that look like on the ground between 2023 and 2025?
You're right, it's been a period of rapid growth. By this time, India had truly emerged as a major player in the AI field. We see widespread adoption of all kinds of AI technologies, from the traditional machine learning techniques to, of course, the cutting-edge stuff in generative AI, and it's happening across a wide range of industries.
And speaking of generative AI, the report states that 81% of Indian organizations have adopted it. That's a huge number. Why do you think India has been so quick to embrace generative AI compared to other parts of the world?
Well, I think there are a couple of key reasons for this. First, there's a real culture of embracing new technology in India. Companies are really open to experimenting and innovating. They see the potential of generative AI to transform how they work, create new products and services, and connect with their customers in new ways. And second, the government has been very proactive in encouraging AI adoption. We've put in place policies and initiatives that have really helped to accelerate this growth.
And that leads us to some of the key government initiatives that are outlined in the report, specifically this push towards developing homegrown generative AI models.
Yes, this is a crucial point. In January 2025, IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw made this big announcement about India developing its own foundational generative AI model. And this is going to be powered by this massive compute facility, the India AI Compute Facility, which has something like 18,000 GPUs. That's a lot of processing power.
Wow, that's impressive. So, what's the thinking behind this push for a homegrown AI model?
It's strategically really important. Firstly, it addresses the need to have AI that's tuned to India's incredible linguistic diversity. There are so many languages spoken in India. And to make AI truly impactful, it needs to be able to work in all of these languages. And secondly, it really underlines this commitment to data sovereignty, keeping sensitive data within the country.
So, it's about creating AI that's not just relevant to India, but also secure and controlled by India.
Exactly. And then there's the launch of Harigan in September 2024. This was developed by IIT Bombay, led by Professor Ganesh Ramakrishnan. It's an open-source, multimodal, multilingual foundation model specifically designed for the Indian context. It received a massive investment of about 27 million US dollars.
So, what makes Part Guns special?
Well, it's multimodal, which means it can handle different types of data like text, images, and audio, making it really versatile. And the fact that it's open source is huge. It means that anyone can use it, build on it, and contribute to its development. This is really going to help to foster innovation and collaboration within the Indian AI ecosystem.
Hardgun sounds like a game changer. It seems like India is really building its own independent AI infrastructure. Now, moving away from generative AI for a bit, what are we seeing in terms of more traditional enterprise AI adoption?
Oh, the enterprise sector is seeing huge growth too. The 2025 CI Productivity Report, which is a key source for the U365 analysis, shows that over half of Indian enterprises are planning to really ramp up their AI adoption. What's interesting is that about 60% of these companies feel they're actually pretty prepared to implement these changes. Their main goals seem to be about improving operational efficiency, enhancing customer experiences, and making better decisions based on data.
So it's about using AI to optimize their businesses and stay ahead of the competition. Now, one thing that really stood out in the report is that Indian companies seem to be much more confident about AI adoption compared to global averages.
That's right, it's remarkable. A whopping 79% of Indian companies surveyed said they were planning to increase their AI budgets in 2024, and the average increase was a huge 41%, the highest in the world. So there's this really strong belief in the power of AI to transform businesses in India. And this translates into serious financial backing. In 2024 alone, Indian startups secured $560 million in AI funding. That's a 125% increase compared to 2023.
Those are some big numbers. That's a real statement of confidence. So we've talked a bit about some of the initiatives, but let's dive deeper into the government's role. What's the overall strategy? It looks like they're pretty heavily involved.
Oh, absolutely. The government has been very strategic in its approach to fostering this AI boom. The cornerstone of this strategy is the India AI mission. It was approved in March 2024 with a budget over 10,000 crore rupees, which is a substantial amount of money. And this mission is built around 7 key pillars designed to support the entire AI ecosystem.
7 pillars. That sounds comprehensive. What do those pillars focus on?
They cover everything from improving access to high-quality data through this new platform called the India Dataset Platform to expanding compute infrastructure, so making sure there are enough powerful computers to handle all this AI work. They're also focused on developing AI solutions for critical sectors like healthcare and agriculture. And of course, there's a strong emphasis on R&D, skilling the workforce, supporting AI startups, and establishing frameworks for ethical and responsible AI development.
It's like they're thinking about everything from the hardware to the ethics. And there's real money behind this.
Oh yeah. In the 2024-25 financial year, the government allocated 551.75 crore rupees just for the India AI mission. And in the 2025-26 budget, they set aside 500 crore rupees to create a center of excellence for AI in education. This is on top of the 3 existing centers of excellence for agriculture, health, and sustainable cities. They've also got 5 national centers of excellence for skilling up and running, collaborating with international partners to ensure that India has the skilled workforce it needs for the AI future.
That focus on skilling is really important, especially with all the potential changes coming to the job market because of AI. And what about the ethical side of things? The report mentions responsible AI governance. What's happening on that front?
Yeah, that's crucial. The government is putting a lot of emphasis on developing AI systems that are transparent, fair, and safe. There are plans to create a national committee on responsible and trustworthy AI to tackle things like bias in algorithms, data privacy, and accountability. And the new Digital Personal Data Protection Act is going to play a big role here, too. It requires companies to use privacy-preserving AI and handle data responsibly.
It's good to see them taking the ethical implications of AI seriously. So, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about the AI innovation ecosystem in India. It sounds like a pretty diverse mix from what the report says.
It really is. You have these established global tech giants who've set up R&D centers in India, attracted by the talent pool and the growing market. And then you have this really vibrant community of homegrown startups developing innovative solutions tailored to specific Indian needs and also for the global market.
What's the investment scene like for these innovators? Are they getting the support they need?
Oh yeah, definitely. Investors are really excited about AI in India. Venture capitalists are pouring money into AI startups, particularly those focused on what they call vertical AI applications. These are solutions designed for specific industries like healthcare or agriculture. The report predicts over 100 new AI startups will emerge, attracting over 4,000 crore rupees in funding.
Wow, that's huge. So it sounds like the money's flowing. Are there any challenges these companies are facing?
Yeah, there are some hurdles. Venture capitalists have pointed out some key infrastructure gaps. There's a shortage of high-performance GPUs, which are essential for training complex AI models. There also aren't enough data centers to handle the growing demand for computing power and data storage. And there's a need for more diverse, locally developed large language models. Addressing these infrastructure challenges is going to be crucial for India to maintain its competitive edge.
It makes sense. You need the right infrastructure to support this kind of rapid innovation. The report also mentions the important role of institutions like the IITs and IESC.
Oh, absolutely. These institutions are powerhouses. They're producing some of the most talented graduates in the world, and they're at the forefront of AI research. They're also great at facilitating collaboration between academia, industry, and the government. IIT Bombay's leadership in the Bardgan project is a perfect example of this.
It sounds like a really strong, interconnected ecosystem. Now let's get practical. How is AI actually being used in different sectors in India? Let's start with healthcare.
Okay, healthcare is a great example. You have companies like Inaplexis using generative AI to speed up drug discovery. They can actually predict which molecule designs are more likely to succeed in clinical trials. That's incredible. Then you have big hospital chains like Apollo Hospitals and Fortis Healthcare using AI-powered medical imaging to improve diagnoses, and companies like Healthify Me are using AI to personalize wellness plans based on individual health data.
So AI is really being used to make healthcare more precise and effective. What about agriculture? That's such a vital sector for India.
Oh yeah, agriculture is undergoing a real AI revolution. Platforms like Satsure are providing farmers with real-time data and insights from satellite imagery. This helps them make better decisions about when to plant, how much to irrigate, and how to manage pests. You have startups like CropN offering AI-powered solutions for early detection of crop diseases, and companies like Phasal are using AI to optimize irrigation schedules based on weather forecasts and sensor data.
So AI is helping to modernize agriculture, improve efficiency, and increase yields. What about education? What's happening there?
AI is making big waves in education, too. Online learning platforms like Unacademy and Vedantu are using AI to personalize learning experiences for millions of students. They can tailor the content and pace to each individual's needs. And the new Center of Excellence for AI in Education is going to push this even further, helping to meet the diverse educational needs of different regions and communities. Imagine personalized AI tutors that can reach even the most remote areas.
That's a really powerful vision. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about financial services.
So in finance, AI is being used for things like fraud detection, personalized customer service through chatbots, and streamlining financial planning. Interestingly, the report suggests that fintech investment is shifting towards sustainability and profitability, and AI is going to play a key role in achieving that.
So it's about using AI to make financial services more efficient, secure, and personalized. Now, with all this rapid AI adoption, there's bound to be a huge impact on society, especially the workforce. What does the report say about that?
That's key concern. An analysis by EY cited in the report predicts that AI adoption could boost productivity in the organized sector by 2.61% by 2030. impacting around 38 million workers. The AI market itself is projected to grow by over 20% annually between 2023 and 2028. However, the economic survey for 2024-25 also raises concerns about the potential for job displacement, especially in lower-skilled jobs.
So it's a double-edged sword, huge potential for economic growth, but also concerns about jobs. How is India preparing for these changes?
Well, the government's focus on skilling is really important here. Those 5 National Centers of Excellence for Skilling are designed to equip people with the skills they need for the AI-powered future. It's not just about job displacement, it's also about new opportunities. Generative AI is creating entirely new roles and specializations, which is reshaping the job market in exciting ways.
So it's about adapting and preparing for a changing landscape. Okay, taking a step back, what are India's biggest strengths in the global AI race? And what are the challenges they need to overcome?
India has some serious advantages. They have this massive, diverse data ecosystem, which is perfect for training AI algorithms. They have a huge pool of highly skilled graduates from top-notch technical institutions, and they have a long history of expertise in IT services and software development. So they have the data, the talent, and the experience. But there are challenges too. The lack of infrastructure, especially when it comes to GPUs and data centers, is a major hurdle. They also need to keep developing their AI talent pool. And the report highlights that not enough organizations have proper ethical and governance frameworks for AI in place.
That they have a lot to build on, but also some important areas to address. Last question, what's the long-term outlook for AI in India? What does the report predict?
The future looks bright. In the next few years, we expect to see continued growth in key sectors, more vertical AI startups popping up, and a shift towards sustainable fintech solutions. We also expect to see India's own large language models becoming more mature and integrated into government services. By the end of the decade, the productivity gains from AI should start to become really noticeable. We'll see the emergence of AI-first companies and big changes in the IT and BPO sectors. There's also a huge opportunity for India to leapfrog development in areas like biotech, manufacturing, and renewable energy by leveraging AI. And looking even further ahead, India has this ambitious goal of becoming a global AI leader by 2047. And they're focusing on doing this ethically and in a way that benefits all citizens.
It sounds like India is really poised to become a major force in the AI world. Professor Conard, thank you so much for this incredibly insightful deep dive into India's AI renaissance. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
It was my pleasure. It's a fascinating topic, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for AI in India.
And for our listeners, we hope this deep dive has given you a better understanding of just how far India has come in the field of AI. It's a remarkable story. If you want to learn even more, we highly recommend checking out the full India's AI Renaissance report from University 365. They have a ton of great resources on their website. It's clear that India is going to be a major player in shaping the future of AI, and we're all going to be watching closely to see what they do next. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.